Well, good morning and welcome back to Log Cabin Firewood. So today we are going to tackle the MaxFlow air filter kit in my messy garage for the Stihl 500i. Let's get to it. This saw is not clean by any means. This is still the same way I left it when we took down that maple out back. But I can show you why I have been considering one of these MaxFlow air filter kits for the 500i. So when you take this cover off, let me get you in here real quick. So when you take this cover off, you'll see there's a little bit of sawdust in here. You could see it around the edges. And this is one of the flaws with the 500i that I have found. Now I've seen people replace these little foam gaskets. I have 20 of these on order from my Stihl dealer and they are on back order. I could probably make one, but if you look in here close enough, you could see that there is some fine dust. It's very, very fine. I don't think that there's much of an issue with these. Like, I don't know. I think it's a bad design on Stihl's part. But I think, you know, just getting those fines stuck in there is one of the reasons I've considered moving over to an oiled filter. But let's get the filter out here. I'll show you how much oil we have to put in it. I'm going to use the Bel-Ray foam filter oil. And yeah, it's very simple. So I am going to go through and wipe this off around the air filter housing. Now it says that there's, you might have to do some trimming on your saw, like around here or on the actual cover itself. But everything I've seen online says that, like on YouTube videos, people aren't doing that anymore. I guess they've redesigned the actual like rain cover that goes on this thing. And they said there was a little piece in here that may have to be trimmed down to get a good fit of the filter, because these filters are bigger. And I mean, from what I'm seeing all the way around, I got a good seal all the way around this thing. I guess they redesigned this. I guess some of the earlier ones had issues where it tells you might have to trim this piece on the outside here. And it doesn't even look like that's on my saw. Actually, it does. I guess it is that big piece right there. I don't know. Everything looks like it fits though, so I shouldn't have to trim anything. And then on the back side, see, it talks about this cover here. It talks about trimming off a little bit here and a little bit on the sides and a little bit on the top. But I already had this on once, but I took it back off because I didn't have the oil and I was afraid to run this thing without oil. Even though one of my good buddies ran his 500i without oil for a long time. I wouldn't recommend that, but hey, you know, whatever. So we can get rid of this. You gotta save this little piece here. And all you do to get that out is you squeeze the little tabs in here and it'll push right out. Boom, we got her out. I can discard this. Well, I'm not gonna discard it, but we're gonna put it somewhere where it's you know, usable for later. I can go ahead and put this in the new black cover. There we go, that's done. I'm gonna set this to the side for now. I'm gonna move the saw to the side for now, and then I'm gonna get some gloves on. We're gonna dump some oil on this thing, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna read some of the directions that this thing comes with on how to oil it. It says to remove the factory cover and filter. I'll be replacing it with the two-piece cage foam element and the rain cover shown in the photo, which is this whole thing and this piece here. I already have the two-piece cage element on this one. We're gonna take it off. We're gonna lube this one up too. That way I have two of them ready. And I'll just put one of the foam pieces in a Ziploc bag and just stow it away somewhere. But the kit is supplied with a green 60 pour and a white 80 pour element. Most cases, the green one should work, the 60 pour, But if there's like super dusty situations, they do give you this white one that's, you know, just will trap a little bit more fine dust. But it says to use the Bel-Ray or the Uni foam filter oil and work about a ½ ounce of the oil into the little foam thing. So let's get some gloves on. I've got this little cup here, and I think it's right around 15 milliliters is a ½ ounce, so it's really not that much oil. But let's go ahead and get this in here. Man, this stuff is thick. All right, so there's almost 20. We'll call it 20. I'm probably putting a little bit more oil in here than I need, but that's okay. We're gonna squeeze this out anyway to where it doesn't have a ton of like residual, like drippy oil. You don't want drippy oil coming off on this. You're not gonna have many camera changes once I put these gloves on, so just try to relax. But first things first, today is Thanksgiving. I'm like, I think a week or two behind on my videos, so I apologize. I didn't think about telling you happy Thanksgiving, you know, on the actual day. Like tomorrow there's a video coming out, or no, 2 days from now. But cheers everybody. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I hope you got to spend time with your family. We lost somebody very close to us a couple, I guess it was about a month ago, and it's especially hard for someone in my family. So you know who you are. You know, my heart's here for you. You know, I'll do whatever I can to help you. I'm always going to be here for you. I love you. And I know that happens to everybody in the world. You know, everybody deals with losses. So if any of you are dealing with losses, you know, I'm sorry for your loss as well. And I hope you guys made it through this holiday season, you know, fine. I hope you guys get through it, you know. But on a better note, let's dump this oil into this thing and I'll keep on going. Cheers. All right, so we're doing the green filter first. I mean, this seems like a lot of oil. And I've seen where people will put this in like a big Ziploc bag and just squeeze the living life out of it. And just keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. But we're just gonna fold it over and kind of squeeze itself. And squeeze it all in there. I can't show you how to clean these yet, but I will once this gets dirty. I do have the cleaner. I got the cleaner. It's actually a spray. It's a spray cleaner. I don't know if that's the right way. If you guys use these foam filters and you know any more about this than me, please enlighten me. If I'm doing anything wrong, please enlighten me. I am not a professional foam filter oiler or cleaner. But from what I've seen, like I watched West Coast Saul do this a little bit, and they said that when you squeeze this thing, you just don't want to have it to where it's like you don't want oil, like if you squeeze it, you don't want oil like coming out. And you know, for right now, I think I've done the job. But I guess I could keep working it in some of the spots where it looks light. I can go through and continue getting what's in this thing. I guess I could put this whole foam filter in here and just twirl it around and get the rest off. There we go. And then there was a little bit that dropped in my bucket. You know, I didn't realize that it was only a ½ ounce of oil. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. But you simply work it in there until you see it's, you know, worked all the way around. And that right there, I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, my buddy ran one of these for over a year without oiling these things. He just recently made a video where he got some spray, and he started oiling it. He said he figured he better start doing it just in case. But that's the green one. Let's get another ½ ounce of fluid or oil in here, and I'll get this white one done. All right, so I'm going to take this filter off of the two-part little cage system here. which all it is a plastic cage with a cap, and it just sits on there. You don't have to press anything, don't have to do anything. But this is what we're going to put the filter that we just oiled inside of. Is that right? Yes, it is. And there you go. There is one quality max flow air filter, all lubed up and ready to go to see some action, because I have a pretty decent sized job coming up here soon. It's not really a job, I'm just helping out a neighbor. He's got about, I want to say close to 10-ish, 15 trees we got to take down and cut up, and that will become his firewood. You know, just taking care of those who take care of me. Let's do the white one. All right, again, we're gonna put our ½ ounce of oil in here. We're actually going a little bit heavy. It should be like 15 milliliters. I think I'm putting 20. Oh well. Like I said, when I watched the other guys do this on YouTube, they just said to make sure when you squeeze the thing there's not oil like pouring out, because you don't want your saw sucking this stuff in. Although I think the reason that they suggest the Bell Ray or the Uni, whatever you want to call it, UNI, because this is a really high quality filter. It's good stuff. There's only 2 brands that Max Flow suggests, and this was one of them. I couldn't find the other stuff, the Uni or Uni, whatever you want to call it. So this is why we got this. And it actually says, one of the things I read on one of the YouTube videos, they said they didn't really suggest using the spray because you're not able to work it into the filters as well. I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just do what I think is best, and I think this stuff's working. But it's nice with these, this white one is nice. You can actually see it getting worked in there. Got a little bit more in here. And one of the other reasons I'm putting this on the saw is because I've already put the West Coast Saw bark box on this 500i, and that lets the air out more rapid. This here will allow more air in, so that way I've got good air going in and I've got good air going out, which is, you know, that's what you want. Good air in, good air out, because these saws are air cooled, so that's the whole goal. And I did pick this up at the Paul Bunyan show in Cambridge, Ohio this year. I said that was one of the things I wanted to get, and we got it. Yeah, I think this is why they say put this in a Ziploc bag and just sit there and squeeze it. Because this one, you know, I pretty much got it all on the outside. But on the inside, you know, there's a few spots where it looks like there's not much. I don't know. Is that a problem? Or do you think I got this thing pretty sufficiently? Sufficiently? I guess that's a word. All right. So there's that one. And we're going to go ahead and say this one is done. And I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag. And we're going to stow this one away on my messy workbench somewhere. And it will be here when we need it. Boom! All right, so now the saw's back on here. This will simply go right on here. And then you can see all the way around. I mean, it's got a nice fit all the way around as to where the other filter did not. Hopefully you can see that. I got a new camera, so I'm still getting used to showing things with this camera. It doesn't have the zoom in feature. It probably does, but it doesn't like zoom like my cell phone did. But this simply goes on and locks in, kind of. There we go. And there you go. Now it says that if you see any of these parts like wearing or rubbing, that's where you would be cutting this, like the shroud out a little bit, like, or the rain cover, I guess they call it. And actually they don't, well, yeah, they do talk about it here, removing the baffle. You can completely remove it up here, but then if it's raining, you know, that doesn't really protect it, or you can just cut a little bit out here. Or you can do the West Coast trim and you can trim this top piece. So I'm probably gonna run this thing and see where it rubs, and then we'll come back and we'll trim that out. I can't run it right now. It's like 9 o'clock at night and it's Thanksgiving. People are still with their families, but we'll have to get out here and take care of this thing here in a little bit. I still got to sharpen this and play with the rakers, and I'll probably blow the clutch cover or the clutch out and all that good stuff too before we get next door and cut these trees down, or up. Not really cutting any trees down. We're gonna end up digging them with the excavator and just pushing them over, because he wants the root balls and everything going. He wants an area to where he can store his trailers and stuff back there. So we're just gonna get that cleaned up for him. So this thing actually looks really cool now. My next saw, I might pull a 765 guys and get it ported. That way I can get a nice black top cover too. Or I think you can actually dye these, or you can paint them. I don't know, I'm probably not gonna paint it. But you know, it does look pretty cool. It gives it a different look with the black rain cover around the filter. It gives you plenty more room all the way around this thing to breathe. You could see here that my decompression valve is gone. I deleted that over the summer. My steel dealer used to repair all of our concrete saws. We had a bunch of concrete cutoff saws when I did concrete construction for 15 years prior to my current career. And he told us, do not ever, 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 under any circumstance, press that decompression button. And he said, the more you press it, the more it fails, the more it gets stuck, and then it ends up getting stuck down and you never have compression and it won't fire, or it runs and runs like crap. So I have never once pressed the decomp on this 500i, ever. But I did take it off just as a preventative maintenance to where I never have to worry about it failing on me. And it was just a simple screw that, you know, you unscrew it and you just put another screw down in there and cap it off. But it's got the West Coast Saw clutch cover. It has the West Coast Saw 3-point felling dogs. It does have the West Coast Saw faller suspension kit on here. If you watched that video last, I guess 2 months ago, where it was a complete epic fail. It took me way too long to do that. I mean, and I've got a Filmora bar on here as well, 24-inch. So for the longest time, I was intimidated by these MaxFlow air filter kits because you had to oil the filter. But as you can see, I just showed you, it's not that hard. Get you a little measuring cup, or if you want to eyeball it. You put some oil in the foam filter, you squeeze it around, you know, and that's it. Then you put it on your saw. When I have to clean this stuff, we'll tackle that later on and we can talk about that a little bit more, but I'll have to give you some updated results or you know, thoughts on this after we get out here in the field and start using it a little bit more, which will be coming up in the next couple videos. The boiler's fired up. It's been fired up for over a month now. That's how far behind I am on videos right now. But I got to get talking about that thing. So far, I love it. I can't wait to show you more about it. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys, again, had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you had a lovely time with your family and friends. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other, and I will catch you back here on the next one.